Alright, what's going on guys? Devin here back with another video with Paramount Trading. So, rough day today. Wrong mentality coming in today. Really looking for a big move, big win today. Market gapping down, want to see that gap fill and then the flush back down, but didn't really go as I planned and I just absolutely butchered it. I finished the day up $5. I shouldn't be green today. Let's just go ahead and go over it. It's gonna be a quick one, and I'll just show you kind of what I did. So, market closed yesterday at 280. Had the absolute low from about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 279.90. We're around here in the morning. We had a spike in the pre-market order up there, and I was basically looking to short off this level. So we opened. As you can see, we didn't even come through that level here. So let me go ahead and show you what I did exactly. So the main goal is short today. Pop into the open and short. So the market opens here. We start dropping immediately, not what I wanted to see. And we're kind of coming into pre-market levels around here, the pivot, not really the low until down here. So I'm like, okay, I expect buying to come in to bring us to that level before we go down. So I'm going to buy some calls. And so I bought 279 calls. Just buying them at, first couple of minutes here when we dropped down right in this area. Once we came down and, added a couple, it wasn't crazy size. Contracts were 70 cents. I don't remember how many I took. And yeah, we just kept falling through. And once we broke below pre-market low, I stopped out and then it ended up, making a move here up to 95 cents or so, but that's okay. I never really made it to my target. I don't think this is the play. I knew it was going to be short. Not really any key levels here to take a long off of. The sentiment was still short on the day. I just needed to be patient, wait for that entry there. So pretty bad trade idea on my part. Stopped out for 100 on that trade, which was good. So now let's go ahead and I also traded the put side because this is the main one I was looking for. So let me go to the 3 minute here. So basically, once we started, let's see, 942. So yeah, we came down and I stopped out of the calls. I'm like, okay, we came underneath pre-market lows. I'm gonna wait for it to pop up into VWAP into this pivot here, and I'm gonna start hitting it for the puts. So I grabbed some contracts here. We wicked up. I grabbed more, and we started coming back down to these levels. I took a couple off, popped up again into VWAP. I re-added, and then right here, once we broke out of this, I cut the last group of it, and I took $100 loss on it. So I was down about 220 bucks, something like that on the day. Uh, yeah, this one ended up not working. And then later in the day, actually, we had this nice move up here, and that'd been awesome. That was actually a pivot here. It was actually the pre-market high. I figured at this point I wasn't really watching it. I was in Aapl. I'll go over that trade after. That was really bad one today. I expected it to retest this, so I didn't even wasn't even watching it to take it here. Would have been good though. Worth a shot. Definitely pre-market high after this strong move up. So we came down here and we were around this level, and I saw this huge spike in volume right here. And I wasn't quite sure. Looked at the news, and we saw China, bad news that they're not afraid of really putting up the pressure on the US with the trade war. So once we popped up, I added 10 contracts at like 53 cents, $530 position size, smaller than, everything else this morning. And I was selling them. I made 650 on that one trade, finished 556 on this. I was selling a couple right here around 1127. So once we broke under the low of the day, we're just waiting. We were kind of pushed down, sold, and once we came back and retested, I added back. I had 10 here, sold 7. I sold 3. I then re-added 3 once we retested. And then once we started coming down again to 1139, I was taking off the majority right around 277 scaling out. At this point, I could have held. I did have this level here at 276.67. It's from the SPX that I got that, and it actually, followed that pretty nicely here, off by a couple of cents or so. Or actually, it was 270.70. Yeah, I think I missed by 1 penny. But at this point, I already had taken this huge loss on Aapl, way past my max loss, and I shouldn't even been in this trade, to be honest, in the SPY. So I was just cutting it after a huge win, up $5 on the day, and that's it. So it's definitely a nice play here, take it into VWAP here, into the pop. Bad news, and we fell through. Solid winner, not even crazy size on it. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it pretty much just fell apart after that. Yeah. So I got a nice part of the move here. Definitely if you manage to grab pre-market high all the way down about 400%, that'd have been awesome. But let me go over Aapl now. This is the one really that is upsetting on the day. Let me pull up these contracts here. Let's see. So Aapl today, what I was really looking at, I'll show you here in the 30-minute. We gap down, same thing with the SPY. Come back into this 177.70 or 77, this 178, right around here into this level. Trend line, there's a lot of things here that were pretty bearish for it. And that's where I started to take my puts on the day. So, oh boy. So right here at, what time? 9:42. We go to 3-minute. So yeah, right around here, once we got into this level, I started taking, my regular size, I think 4 contracts or 5 contracts or so. Then we came down, came back into this level. I took some more contracts. We dipped, we came back up to 10:06, up to yesterday's close. I took more contracts. I think I had about a total of 10 contracts or 9 contracts, ridiculous size. That's about double what I'll usually take on a position there. And, it just had to move about 20 cents from my average for me to be out about 441. Stopping out pretty much the dead top as I was at max pain. I came into the day wanting a huge win, which is wrong mentality. And I really wanted to see this work, and I kept adding. And eventually I just had to stop out of it. This is exactly what you don't want to do here. 441 loss in one trade. You keep these losses 100 when I'm wrong. Take my regular size, I'm within my risk. And then when I'm right, I'm going to make more, and I'm going to be profitable. I don't need to be taking a 440 loss. I thought I was done with this, but apparently just the emotions today going into it just struggle with that. I just dead bottom stop out, coming all the way back down. Either way, I would have gotten stopped out of this. My trade idea at this level here was invalid. We went up another $2. That wasn't the trade today. It didn't work. I need to take my $100 loss from that and be wrong, and then come back and I can take that awesome SPY trade and finish up 400 bucks on the day, 300 bucks on the day instead of break. I'm lucky to be break even though with that SPY trade. I should have been down about 500 bucks today. Yeah, it pretty much wraps it up. Really disappointed with today. Just need to slow it down, trade my risk, take the setups when I'm wrong, take my $100 loss, and go from there. And I'm just gonna grow the account. So that's basically what I'm finishing up today. About break even, and see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.